Hello and welcome everyone. Today I'm joined by David Brown, who's a founder at Hi, which is a pay asset finance company. How are you today, David?
Morning, Zach. How are you?
I'm doing fine. We've agreed beforehand to make this short, sweet and snappy. So here we go. What is Hi?
Well, Hi is what we term pay asset finance. In short terms, it's working capital for employers and faster payment for employees.
And so what happens there? You're lending them money. They are, how does it work?
Well, interesting enough, it's not a loan. That's what makes it incredibly attractive in today's market. It's really allowing employers the ability to have working capital released from payroll, but at the same time, improving the frequency of pay to employees to improve their cash flow position. So, well, one could say it's a new asset class, but the reality is, one would also argue it's just in time for what the market's currently going through right now.
And why did you set this up?
I set it up because I actually started the journey in June 2019. So it wasn't actually pandemic related. It was basically around a concept that I had that we have traditionally been financing suppliers for decades in trade finance, but we never financed employees. And really, my curiosity got the best of me, and I wanted to go and see if financing employees was actually truly possible. In about September in 2019, we agreed that it was possible. So since then, I've been working away diligently on creating Hi. And with NTT Data, who are a very large IT company, we have been working non-stop since April this year in getting Hi ready for the UK public, and it's now ready.
And you haven't, I suppose the bullet point is that for any company, the biggest financial headache or the biggest money they need to have set aside is their payroll.
Yeah, I mean, set aside is a good word. The word that you would use for that is people who need to have sufficient working capital to run their business. And if working capital is something that doesn't go away and it's not pandemic related. However, what COVID-19 has truly done is it's shone a floodlight on how important working capital is in a pandemic, because most people are going insolvent because payroll is sucking the life out of the working capital, and meanwhile they're trying to recover the revenues. So COVID-19 has actually simply put a floodlight on how important working capital is, and it's going to be even more important as we try to recover.
So the difference between, if you're a restaurant or an airline, the difference between deciding to keep going as a business or not keep going is when you think about how much payroll you'll have to have set aside in order to resume business or continue business. So it is the difference. It is the line in the sand, let's say.
Exactly, Zach. You talk about an airline. An airline traditionally will have £100 million plus every month of payroll obligations, but take it all the way down to a restaurant will have 60 to 80,000 pounds per month of payroll obligations. That's unsustainable right now for a lot of people.
Okay, and so what's your business model? We've got the airlines and the restaurants there, not doing so well at the moment. What's your business model in the current environment?
A fairly simple business model, one in which we think is fair for everyone. We're not trying to profit in any extreme way from this situation. So we've always had this business model, which is we have a per employee cost that's paid by the employer, and we get paid by the funders for giving them this new asset class.
Okay, and in terms of your margins and how that works, I mean, how much, you making good money out of this, or will you make good money out of this?
The answer is, will we make good money out of this? Because right now it's cost a lot of money, and it's going to cost a lot more. We anticipate our margin to be between 35 to 45%.
So that's a good business, good margin for any business, basically.
And an acceptable margin as well.
Right. I mean, you said that this is effectively a new asset class. You've in a way reinvented part of the financial wheel in terms of corporates. What are the risks? What are the competition? Could somebody just set up a new fintech called Hi Mark II and put you out of business?
I get that question a lot, and it's probably the right investor question. How do you protect your market when you create a market? Yeah? And there's two ways we've protected our market. One is we've built the platform in partnership with NTT Data. NTT Data are the 5th largest IT company in the world. They're available in every place, every major city, in every major country. There's 600,000 people. And as this model gets traction, so does NTT Data. So they will scale globally as this gets traction in the UK. In fact, they're already starting to scale in Asia right now and putting together Hi Asia with 3 major funding institutions, and NTT are leading that. The second way we'll protect our market is this is a new form of trade finance. It happens to be people. So we're currently working with all the major trade finance banks who provide working capital to global corporates already. This is a new way to provide further working capital with further securities to the same clients. We're working with the major payroll companies in the UK. We're in discussion and in partnership with 4 of them. That gives us access to 15 million UK employees, gives us access to over 3 million businesses globally. And then we're working with the big 4 who provide working capital and restructuring services to basically all the major corporates. That allows us to start to slow down any competition that's going to come after us, because we will have partnered with the tier 1 suppliers to that industry.
Right. In terms of delivery as well, one of the other things that people like to sort of know about a business is sort of visibility going forward. What are the timelines that you expect? What are the sort of the key deliverables that you're looking at over the next, say, 12 months?
Yeah, so the first thing we had to do was obviously get the platform live, deliver the legal frameworks, which we've done in partnership with Slaughter and May and NTT, and deliver the funding to them frameworks, which we're doing through Orbin at the moment, but that's moving into the banking network. And now we're actually ready to talk to customers, because there was actually no point in us talking to customers until them 3 pillars were in place, because otherwise it would have just been a discussion. Today, we're now actively engaged in these discussions. We've just went live a week ago, according to the press, and already we've got 4 corporations talking to us with over 500,000 employees. So that's actually quite encouraging that we're having that level of take up and interest in what we're doing already.
And so once you know how many employees you've got under your wing, let's say, or under the Hi wing, then you can work out exactly how much you would be making in terms of revenue, etc., down the line.
Yeah, so the business becomes profitable once we've attracted 750,000 employees. And to put that into perspective, Zach, that could be 3 customers.
So it just depends who it is, whether it's a big bank, a big IT company, etc.
Using some names, they're not customers today, but Tesco have 500,000 employees. Yeah, and G4S have 400,000 employees. The National Health Service has 1 million employees. So to get to the 750,000 employees, we're quite comfortable we can do that this year. Well, sorry, in a year.
Okay, well, that sounds very Brown 100 Hi. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Zach.